Hey guys, my name's Stevendigi. I recently got top 4 at the Carta Magica Regionals with Red Hybrid. I went with that deck because it's fast, it's really fun to play. It's more of a combo deck nowadays, and there's definitely a lot of different lines of play that make the deck really fun. Alright, so for the deck list. So run 4 of the Koro just for the draw, 3 Uko. So this card, it was a tough choice on whether I run Uko or not. So Uko's kind of rough when you go second, but there are different plays that you can do, even if you go second with Uko. But ideally, you want to go first if you're playing Uko. Some other considerations was cutting Uko and running more text, but I ended up sticking with Uko. Another card. So this card is crazy. This is probably top 5 card in the deck. If you have this in Spirit Evolution, you basically can just go to Alda and then do like a check and then play out Tamers and just draw a lot of cards and plus with this guy. The next one, so this Flamemon's really good. Sometimes you don't really have too many plays and this is your rookie that you just need to get some searches in. The Inherit's good as well if you want to play more in the raising area. Another card that I saw a lot of was the Strabimon. So I know a lot of people are saying that the Strabi, it can be a brick in your hand, but I mean, it's always a Spirit Evolution target, and you always have that blue for your triple tamer to tuck under to get the draw. And the memory comes up when you want to do your end of turn as well. So then you can do 2 checks and then take turn back. All right, this is the real go to the deck. So Agunimon. So he's great when you go on top of your tamers. He's also good when you want to have him in raising, because you can just Digivolve him in the back, give your opponent 2, and then the next turn you can just swing, and then go into the Alda, and then just play out Tamers and draw 2 and stuff like that. He's also good when you Digivolve on a Tamer, because you can tuck anything underneath. So if you want to have an on-deletion play a Tamer, you can put him under here, or if you want to do like the Kazemon to play out if he dies, then you can play out a Tamer there. Or the Strabimon, just to gain that memory. So he becomes basically a free Evo if you're doing Takuya. Alright. 3 Burning, 3 Aguni. So this Aguni is really good. He basically just lets you add back your Aldemons, or if you're missing an Emperor, you can add that back as well, or any of your hybrids. 1 Kuma. I don't know how I feel about Kuma. Kuma never really came up with his 1 Digivolving, mostly for his Inherit, but I think at that point, yeah, just to the Inherit. The next cards, so I have 2 Kaze, 1 Zephyr. So Kaze is really good. I like the 1 Digivolving to suspend. Sometimes they just have blockers and you just need to get around them. And then we got Zephyr, mostly for the piercing. I like the piercing with the Emperor Gray. Alright. The key card that makes this all work together is this Aldemon. This card's crazy. Just 1 Digivolving, pop a guy that's equal or is as big. On deletion, end of attack, you can trash a card from your hand to draw 2. So that sets up your trash for your triple tamer, and then you draw 2. And then you can play the triple tamer to put the card that you trashed to put it back under the tamer. And he's got rush, so your tamers are always going to be live. Next is 2 Aldemon. Mostly just used for matchups where you know they're going to have like a lot of security options. In this format, I think there's going to be a lot of mem boosts, so just having this guy underneath to deny them that mem boost is good too. Alright, 1 Medusamon. So, this was mostly put in here to deal with Millennium if I ran into it, but I didn't run into Millennium. But if I did, I would use it to pop the Millennium, bot deck the Millennium, and then play out a token to make sure they don't get their on deletions. But if you don't run into Millennium, this is basically just 3 checks by itself, because you can swing with this, play a token when Digivolving, swing, pop the token, play another token, and then if you somehow pop that other token, then that's essentially 3 checks. So crazy card. Emperor Greymon, never really came up. I think I used him mostly for the colors and as a hybrid trait. I think I used the pop once. Alright, on to the good Emperor Grey. So this one's crazy. So this one, if you pair it with the piercing, and then you swing into their guy, you can do 2 checks and then unsuspend, and then end a turn, do another 2 checks. So crazy. All right, another card that makes this deck crazy is the Triple Tamer. So this one is your card draw, it's your mem gain, it's your damage. So pair this with the Aldemon and you're going crazy. I'm also running 4 of these Takuyas. So I see some lists doing 2, some doing 3. I think he's like just a 4 of, because if I see him turn 1 and I see the Triple Tamer, then I'm always gonna have like minimum like 1 or 2 bodies and then like potentially 1 or 2 tamers on the board. So the free play is crazy. One of this, I just have it in here as a Takuya name. Just another tamer to play out. Honestly, he did come up sometimes, but he wasn't crazy. The mem set was okay, but I'd rather have the other 5 cost. Alright, the other crazy card in this deck is the Spirit Evolution. So I'm running 3 of this, and the main thing you want to do with this one is have the setup, and then at any point you play out the double tamer, you can go into your Alda, and then end of turn swing. So this card makes your tamers live at any point in the game to do damage and to just go crazy. And then just some attacks, 1 Crimson Blaze, 1 Grav Crush. Crimson Blaze, I think you draw enough that you can reliably see the Crimson Blaze. Deals with Medusa, deals with TS, and a bunch of other, like, potentially puppets. I didn't run into any puppets, but this would have been good into them. And then the Grav Crush, sometimes you just need that extra memory to go for that extra play to deal with their board or to go for game.
Okay, is there anything that you would change from your deck or take out?
Honestly, I think the main thing I would take out is probably the Kumamon, this one here. I would either run an extra Kazemon or another Zephyrmon or a Pierce Inherit Flamemon. I feel like I saw the Kaze enough that I didn't need to have the Kuma. And the one Digivolving from the Kuma didn't really come up ever, so I'd rather just have the Suspend, because there's a lot of blockers in the format, so you definitely sometimes just want to ignore their blockers and go for face instead of stripping their sources.
Okay, so you do also have 1 loss, so that was Medusa. What would you say your other hardest matchup was this whole tourney?
I want to say the other one, so TS Megazoo, that one's kind of tough, especially if I run into a TS Megazoo that runs Venus, which they most likely will. And if I commit too much to the board and they have Homeros, then I'm basically just like locked out of the game. So you kind of have to play differently against TS Venus. I think you kind of need to have less tamers on the board, which sounds weird, but like if you can set up Spirit Evolutions or if you can out the Venus, then that's kind of your main game plan. But yeah, Venus just says screw tamers.
Fair enough. And then I guess we'll go back to the Medusa tech. Did it ever come up other than like for lethal or anything like that, or just like an extra check?
Yeah. So
did it win you any games?
Yeah. So the Medusa came up really crazy against the Omnimon Ping Pong. So she basically the Omnimon said, okay, you probably don't have lethal this turn. So then he like put me to 1 memory. And then I had the dual tamer, so I went to 3, and I had an Alda out. And I was like, okay, I'll just go Medusa on top of my Alda, play token, and then swing, end of attack, pop the token, play another token, swing with 2 rookies, and then I went into Alda, popped the last token, and swung for game. And I brought him from 5 security to game with that. Another time Medusa came up, so I was playing against TS in one of my rounds, and and they set up like a board of like 6 or 7 different Digimon and a Minerva, so he had like 7 blockers. And he saw me bot deck my Crimson Blaze off my search, so he was like pretty confident that I wouldn't be able to break through the board. But I went into Medusa, and then I popped his Minerva, and I bot decked it so he wouldn't get his on deletion. So then basically his whole board went from a board of blockers to now I just swing face.
That's pretty funny. Off of 1 card is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And then would you ever take out that Emperor Grey, the promo? Would you swap him out?
It's tough to say. I think the Emperor Grey could have been a third one of the BT-18, or it could have been a Floodgate. Another card that I was considering was Pale Dramon. I think what's that one? The one that the red purple Imperials run. The one with the
4K buff and then
yeah, that
swing,
one.
yeah.
So that one, I thought about it. I just don't have the ratios to run that card efficiently, because I think to play that card you need to max out on your red purple level 4, so you always had the colors to DNA. But the main combo you can do with that is you can DNA, go into Pale Dramon, then if you have the Tamer underneath, you can go into Emperor, or the other Emperor, BT-18 Emperor, like that, on top of that Pale, and then you can swing over anything with Piercing, and then do 3 checks, restand, and then end a turn swing. So that was another consideration as well to put into the deck. Yeah, okay. But yeah, this Emperor, blocker never comes out. The pop maybe sometimes. He's probably more useful just going for lethal if you just need one more swing at the end of your turn.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about during your regional run?
Sure. I guess I can go through my matchups.
Yeah.
All right. So my matchups. So I went against Medusa round 1. So that was my only loss for the day. I think I did a couple misplays in my games 2 and 3. Game 3, I definitely misplayed. He gave me a lot of memory for my lethal turn, but I just didn't sequence it properly because I only had we were going to time, so there was only 5 to 10 minutes left to play. So I kind of rushed my lethal, and I ended up missequencing a bunch of things. So TS. So this one, I beat this guy 2-1. So he won the first game. My opening was really weak. I had to I digivolved into a rookie, and then into a Kaze, and then into an Aldemon in the back. Not the good Aldemon, the bad Aldemon. And then I was like, okay, yeah. And then he had everything to go into Venus and stuff like that. I think the other 2 games I was able to just go fast enough and set up enough tamers that he couldn't find Venus in time to deal with it. Rocks 2-1 against this one. I think this one he pushed out a little too early in a couple of the games, and then I ended up clearing his stack and winning in those games. Round 4, I played against Medusa. So this one 2-1. I think the one game that I lost, he put me down to 1 security. I Crimson Blaze, cleared his board, and then I left the Styraco out because I knew that he wouldn't be able to kill me with just 1 Styraco swing. So I was like, all right, he's got the end of turn Owen. And I'm like, all right, I just bank on him not having Cyclone because I saw him use it. And then bank on him having the Rush Medusa, which he managed to draw off his Digivolve search. So I'm like, all right, I lost that game. But then I think the other 2 games I was able to beat him because I think I was able to go fast enough there. Round 5, I played against Blue-Green Imperial. So game 1, so he's a guy I know. He's someone from the same province as me, but ended up doing a bit of a friendly fire there. So Blue-Green Imperial. He bricked game 1. He spent 3 turns passing, and I was like, oh no, that sucks. And I just had the nuts.
Yeah.
Game number 2, that one was a little bit closer. He was able to set up a fighter mode and a rookie, but then I digivolved into one of my level 4s to add back the Alda, and he was like, okay, I'm not going to suspend it. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go into Alda and pop your fighter mode. And he's like, okay. So
yeah,
basically I got to do an extra swing that he could have avoided, but yeah, it happens. Medusa played against this one 2-0. I think this one was unlucky for him, so he wasn't able to find his 6s or his 7s in a couple of those games, so I think he ended on Lamias a couple times, so unfortunate for him. TS Megazoo. This one, I put them on a fast timer. I basically went turn 2, push up, do 4 checks, end my turn, and it's like, do you have Venus? No? Okay, I win. And this is the one where he went a board of 8 wide with Minervamon, and I was like, okay, Medusa, pop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Round 8, I played against Medusa. This one was 2-0. It was a 2-0, but it was like kind of hard because he set up like a really difficult board, like really early in game 1. So he had Styraco, he had a Dimetro, and I think like another body, and I didn't really have much on my board. So I left my board empty. I think I Crimson Blaze, cleared his level 4s, and then he used he used the Styraco. I actually did push out. He used the Styraco to pop my guy to protect one of the other guys. And then I was like, okay, so he has no protection now. So then I go, okay, I managed to tuck 5 sources underneath my Takuya. So then I go, okay, I'll just go into Emperor, swing over the Dimetro, pierce 2 checks, unsuspend, swing over the Styraco because I stripped all his sources so he can't armor purge, and then I do another 2 checks, and then basically left him on an empty board. So won the next turn. And then the last round, so Omni Ping Pong. This one, it's just a clencher. It's just, if they have it, you just get cooked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just kind of have to outspeed them. I got lucky that he bot decked one of his Alter S's in one of the games, and then I was able to just like clear him down to 1 security. He ended on 2 bodies, and then wasn't able to find the Alter S. He cleared all my security, but hit into 3 tamers, so he was like, okay, yeah, I guess I just lose now because I can't lethal you. So, yeah, those are my matchups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for your whole deck profile and regional run. So will you be at any other regionals in the future?
I don't know. We'll see. If I do another regionals, I'll probably just play like another deck that I find is like fun, or I might play like a sweaty deck. It depends. If the deck's fun, I might play it. But we'll see if I do another regional run, just because they're long.
Yeah.
And I get tired pretty easily. So, but all in all, like Red Hybrid, I think it's a like crazy fun deck. I think it's like strong. I think it's good into. I wouldn't say it's like crazy into the format, but I think it's like good enough that you can realistically have like a 50-50 matchup against a lot of decks.